Hello everybody. Welcome back to Phlox'em and another KAGI Top Cut match. We're in the second half of our quarterfinals. We've got Thytiom, I think that's how you say that, versus Kalos. Let's take a look at the decks really quick. I know the players are ready to go, so we'll go ahead and do this rapid fire here. On the left, we've got Kalos's deck. This is a Amber Skies Eternal Guillotine KAGI. Looks like a lot of value. I think this is one Kalos has actually played. Let's see. I know Kalos has played some with some strong feeling Echo Fly combos, but I thought the other one we've seen had like a capture pip or something on like the ghoul keeping. There might still be a combo here. There's only the one Echo Fly, so not 100% sure if this is quite the same deck. Would have to go back. Lots of Geistoid pips though. We've got one on Khalifi Dragon, Code Monkey, Worm Tunnel, so plenty of efficiency. Double in here somewhere. A little on the creature control like Amber Skies can be, but plenty of Amber generation and not bad Amber control. Small on the artifact control, but we'll see if that matters. And on the other side, we've got Thytiom's deck, Professor of Panthem. This one looks like, okay, Martyrs and plenty of creature, only 15 creatures, Pose Pixies with Punctuated Equilibrium, Nature's Call, and Mimicry, so plenty of interesting stuff going on there on the Untamed. Got the Golden Auras in Sanctum for some house cheating. The Martyrs End, again, interesting with only 15 creatures. It is low creature control on both sides though, so that could actually come up with a pretty big play, especially under the Jar Goggle or something. You can do all kinds of weird stuff there, being able to kill your own creatures. Double Librarian, double Researcher, backup copy, so plenty of efficiency and stuff going on here in the logos, but not doing much else except for the standardized. Not bad. Nature's Call as well, they're everywhere. Save the pack, so you know, it's a AOA deck, pretty well not well rounded because the Amber control is almost nothing, and no key cheats, so this feels like it's kind of a risky deck, but should be interesting. All right, players have the game up already, so let's go ahead and get into this. Could be lots of archiving for just the Martyrs End. How many creatures did we have in the Sanctum? No, are we still going to have the slow loading on TCO? We had some issues last time, but if you put the Martyrs End under the Jar Goggle, maybe. But otherwise, you're only looking at 5 creatures in Sanctum, which isn't like huge. The Untamed is a bunch of really small creatures, and there's only 4 of them, so those aren't sticking around very long. Although there weren't. There are going to be maybe some damage pips in here, right? Rowdy Scald is giving you some damage pips, so some of those 1 power creatures not going to last long. Although you do have the Nature's Call Glimmer combo in there, but with the amount of like discard pips and stuff, it's so hard for that to actually get value these days. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Thytiom plays this. I would definitely put the advantage in the Amber Skies on the Amber Skies side for now. I'll move my face. But I'll just see how things play out. Kalos taking a look at the deck here. I never know. Kalos has the Kalosianfire or just Kalos. I went with the longer name, but if it's a problem, I don't get paid, so you have no one you can complain to higher up than me. The Amber Skies deck. So I was trying to figure that out. I don't think it is. It has the ghoul keeping and strong feeling, but they don't have the capture pip. So I'm trying to remember, do you have to have a second creature to do it? No, because you don't have... I don't know that this is that one. That's what I was trying to look for, because I know I'd seen that before from Kalos's deck. Because if you have the ghoul keeping... strong... Yeah, I think you need like the capture pip on either ghoul keeping or strong feeling for it to be a rule of 6. And we don't have that here, so maybe not, but lots of other interesting pip placements on this one. Let's see, we've got Thytiom has turn 1, so the AOA deck is going first. It's going to be tough to win with AOA deck. I agree. I think it's definitely the underdog here. We do have a Junk Restoration. Feel like that Code Monkey. Oh, it is just the goalkeeping Echofly. For some reason, there is another deck. Maybe that's not Kalos'. There's another deck that can do like it like captures 6 amber or steals 6 amber in the same turn it does that. This one doesn't have like a Crepuscular or anything. So it might just be like Kalos just likes Echofly Rule of 6 decks, and this is just one of them, but it doesn't do all the cool things. But yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was looking too hard for like something bigger. Okay, so Thytiom Mimicry early, hitting the Junk Restoration. I don't see anything here that's really worth grabbing. Yeah, that's like a... Oh, and plays out the Nature's Call, and they're everywhere, so some creature control gone, the Mimicry being gone, the Full Moon being gone. I don't know. I don't think that's the turn you want here for early on with Thytiom. We'll see. Both players just playing out a lot of actions to get amber, but not a whole lot of interaction going on. We do get a capture pip here, and we did see the standardized testing gone as well. So, oh, that must have been grabbed off of the Junk Restoration. I missed at the end there if one of the cards was actually picked up or not. Kalos goes into Berserker Slam, discards the Kalifi Dragon, but does get to check here, and as we saw, there is no amber control really in Thytiom's deck, so that will be a key 1 to Kalos. Both players going fast, which I don't mind that after some of the matches I've recorded recently. They've been cool matches, but just definitely some really brain burner, thinky, grindy matches, so a little bit of a speedier match is okay with me. Not to name any names. And again, they've been fun matches for sure, but some people just like grindier decks. You still haven't played your top game, have you, JT? Or maybe you were one of them. Yeah, I covered yours. Never mind. Okay, decently big turn there of Untamed stuff, but again, not generating too much amber, putting the Earthbind on post Pixies, getting some of the artifacts down. We did see the EP come out for Kalos, just slowing down Thytiom's first key there. And here's an in here somewhere. What pieces are in there? You probably just grab Junk Restoration Code Monkey at this point. Maybe the Worm Tunnel as well, if you want to keep digging, but I assume you just kind of start grabbing everything Geistoid at this point, because this deck can get to a place, especially in this matchup, where you're just playing Geistoid every turn. You have creature control. You can eventually get the dragon out, which the dragon with strong feeling ghoul keeping combos could be filthy. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I didn't really think about that. Kalifi Dragon has a capture pip on it, so you can strong feeling it on the turn you play it. Get Ghost in the Sun, Junk. Oh, Ghost in the Sun is an interesting one. I don't know that Thytiom's going to have any creatures for a bit here, but and then discards the Echofly. Discards the Echofly for the in here somewhere. But yeah, you kind of need Thytiom to get some keys before that Ghost in the Sun is doing much. So the one thing, do have to kill the post Pixies. I don't think there was a damage pip unless it's on. I'd have to look again. Oh, all hands on deck, I guess, can still kill the post Pixies, but you do need to kill that, otherwise your capturing is not really doing what you want. There's a Glimmer for the Mimicry. Okay, what are we hitting with the Mimicry here? I don't see anything that feels like amazing. Only archive discard pip. Draw pip, you mean? Yeah, that's true. In this matchup, that's fair. You don't really have to work too hard. You just have to keep gaining amber. Don't have to worry about the amber control too much. I don't know if this mimicry here is amazing. I mean, it does give you some amber control. This is the one place where you can actually find amber control with that mimicry. You got the Connectome and the Effervescent here have amber control options. We are reaping, so yeah, it does do the Connectome, which means you're re-archiving your Glimmer. But also, putting in the... All right, we got the Punk. Let's see what was lost on the Punk. There's the in here somewhere. Bunch of Brobnar. I think that's not what you wanted to hit if you're Thytiom. You have to play it, but you're definitely hoping to see some more of that Geistoid get discarded. So now, no Ghoul Keeping, no... yeah, there's so little Geistoid in the discard. This is worst case scenario, I think, for Thytiom here. But does have, again, has the Glimmer, so you can get back the Mimicry. That all is in there. And if the Strong Feeling gets played, you can actually use it to remove this Amber and ready these again. The Mimicry does make this a little bit more interesting. That does give the AOA deck a little bit more reach. But we'll see if it's enough. Yeah, Mimicry and Connectome with Glimmer is really interesting. I hadn't thought about that before. It unfortunately, it's a little bit, it hurts your own board a little bit more than you want sometimes, like hitting the post pixies there. Yeah, especially with this information exchange is unfortunate. Placeholder, gonna take out the Darna, put some damage on the Swarm. Kalos up to 6, plays a Quantum Mouse. The Thytiom does get a key here. And again, I imagine we see that Glimmer come back down. Maybe hit the EP this time, but you probably don't want to slow yourself down, so I might just go with the Capture Pips or even the Berserker Slam just to kind of get a little bit of an easy... Oh, but the Marmo Swarm dies off of the damage there and the Forge Key. Excuse me. Yeah, Kalos getting one of the only ways you can actually get 2 kills off of one placeholder is by hitting something that changes its power value at the end of or start of your opponent's turn. So Kalos is at 7 here. We know we've got what's the third archived card? Do we even know? Was that archived right at the beginning? Because it was just 2 creatures archived off the Glimmer. Yeah, so I think whatever was in there stayed in there. Here's the Martyr's End. Decides not to kill anything. Just puts the Anahita down. Is going to give up this key. Anahita could be enough Amber control. We'll see. It is not a card you see getting much value very often these days, but it's got 4 power right now with the Lion. What do we have left for creature control? We still haven't seen like the all hands on deck. That probably is going to do some damage here. All right, Kalos pulling the archives. Basically need to kill this, get to 6, flip the deck. Oh, sneaky. Very sneaky. Ghost in the Sun puts a creature into play, does not play them, so is able to just get the Khalifi Dragon on the board. You don't get the pips. That's pretty cool, though. I like that. Now, if you have another capture pip, you can still strong feeling this. Oh, it's such a cool thing, and it's the first time. We'll see if Thytiom can do the same, but again, it's probably at a point where it might not matter. This match feels like it's going to go to game 3 real quick here. Okay, there's a Junk Restoration, discarding Colonel Slime, which will get a capture. I imagine that's going on the Khalifi Dragon here. Did it not capture? Oh, the Colonel Slime was off the top of the deck from the Junk Restoration, not from hand. Okay. Either way, we've got multiple reaps happening here from the Khalifi Dragon. We've got Doppelganger ready to become a second Khalifi Dragon. And the flip deck here means you can't Can't get the EP with the Mimicry anymore. And no key cheats in the AoA deck either. I think that's like the one thing. If you're running something with the really low amber control, having key cheats can be really nice. We do get the Punk there. It hits the EP, but does not have the doesn't have the Mimicry there. So, all right, game one going to Kalos. Not a huge surprise there. Kalos happy to not be the worst, have the worst matchup here. Looks like we got booted. Oops. Ah! It's not where we wanted to be. Lost the game. Get it back up in a minute here. There we go. Still some funky things with the UI. This staying up after you've entered the room is definitely not the most intuitive, but I'm sure they have plenty of a backlog of little things like that to work on. I'm thinking actually of maybe doing like a quick how-to TCO video now with the new UI, but I wonder if it's worth waiting a little bit longer. Are we? Okay, so it was the reversal. Swap in first player here. Kalos going first on the AoA deck. And again, we're kind of expecting this game to go pretty quick. Once the paint dries a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do something for, well, I'm not sure what I would do for the like sloppy lab work tournament stuff, but even just doing something for like your triad tool and things would be pretty fun. Just for like, if you like as a casual player who wants to get more practice online, if you want to try different formats or whatever, there are some super helpful tools over there for like triad and hexad and stuff like that. So it'd be really fun. Try and do some of that. Basically try to take credit for all the other work people are doing. Not take credit. I would definitely credit you all with it, but no, I don't get, it's not like I get paid for these videos or anything. It's just to try and help people get used to using all the stuff there is for playing Keyforge online, since that's where a lot of people are, only place a lot of people can play now. All right, Thytiom getting a bunch of Barabnar on the board, getting some amber. We do see that standardized testing coming out and taking down a few of them. Titan mechanics, so a little bit bigger body, and the lab work doing some archiving. Was that double lab work? Do we have? Turn one was a researcher. Okay, so we have two in the archives now. I assume those are going to be of the same house. Doppelganger, Echofly comes down, so very much going to try to price Kalos back into Logos to kill that Echofly. Otherwise, you've got Doppelganger, Echofly, which is pretty scary. I guess in that vein, I could also maybe do some like overviews of the different tournaments and stuff that are going on too. Yeah, sure thing. Have a good one, JT. Thanks for stopping by. You'll probably know the results of this match pretty soon. Even game 3, I don't expect to go super long. Ooh, a little bit more thinking for Kalos here. So this is probably what Thytiom was hoping, trying to force Kalos into a pretty suboptimal play to deal with this Echofly. Other creature control. There's a little bit, but not much of it actually deals with the Echofly. You could just Golden Aura if you have that with a Titan mechanic. Grey Rider, same thing. You could bounce it. Mimicry. Could Berserker Slam it. So, I mean, it does seem like there's a decent amount of options. So maybe Kalos is just deciding which is the best here versus having to make a bad play, but you never know. Could just have a handful of dumb creatures. See the Sanctum Fall, so again, should be at least like 3 options here. Pulls the archives as well. Hallowed Shield, the most underwhelming, one of the most underwhelming artifacts ever printed. And that's an FFG one, so I guess we would expect the more underwhelming cards from FFG. GG swung the other way. Does find the Golden Aura to take out the Echo Fly there. Thytiom goes right back into Geistoid though. Just going to get some more creatures on the board. All hands on deck. Going to be able to take out that Anahita. Could have put that damage elsewhere. Thrown that on the Titan Mechanic or something, but probably not a massive, huge deal here. You maybe are actually fine with the Titan Mechanic staying alive for a bit. Again, without the key cheats, it's going to be really tough for this AOA deck to actually get value out of that. Whereas the Amber Skies deck is going to be pressuring a lot more, so you're going to be priced into covering it up. Same thing here, though. I feel like you're kind of... Okay, there's going to be There Everywhere and the Nature's Call. Bouncing all this back to hand does not feel too bad, I think. You might actually consider bouncing the Prince Derek here if you're going to play an Untamed Creature. And just see if it'll stay alive until next turn. And trying to get the big Prince Derek Amber generation. But, I mean, honestly, just bouncing all 3 of these does not feel bad. That really slows down a deck like this. You do have the discard pips. Okay, chooses to bounce 2 of them. Does not bounce the Prince Derek. And not wanting to give that Amber pip back either. But again, Doppelganger stays as a blank creature for another turn. Kalos is on check here with a Titan Mechanic. And Thytiom might not actually have a good way to deal with that here. So this could be a sneaky 5 Amber key for Kalos. Let's see. Or you just discard the Kernel Slime to get the capture. Easy enough. Getting to check yourself on 5 here. See what else they got. There's a Ghoul Keeping to ready and use the Wellstring. Not bad. Just put some damage on the Mechanic. Go up to 7. And the in here somewhere, because of the Ghoul Keeping and Kernel Slime, is going to be able to archive. I assume, yeah, you're going to get the Echo Fly and Ghoul Keeping. So you now have the rule of 6 in hand if you're Thytiom. Not looking good for Kalos. Needs to either cover up or remove this Titan Mechanic. Finds a Librarian. Second lab work here. You might just fight the Wellstring, yeah. You don't want to get the 2 of them there, especially with the Ghoul Keeping ready to go. Gets up to 6 Amber, but Thytiom, I imagine, just goes right back into Geistoid here. You might just stop this key. Depends. You're probably fine taking like a Logos turn or something just to kind of search for a little bit more. But again, if you just start rule of 6ing with the Echo Fly here, you're probably in a good place. All right. I'm taking some time on this one again. Probably thinking about just kind of getting some stuff out of hand before firing off that combo. Knows what he's up against in this AOA deck. Knows there's not much Amber control, so you probably have a couple turns where you can just keep going, but if you want to just try and risk it and close it out on the rule of 6, doesn't seem like the worst. Okay, we do see the Geistoid Call here. Pulls the archives. You do end up leaving this Titan Librarian alive and maybe giving up this key, but again, with the Ghost in the Sun combo we saw, you might be okay giving up the key anyways, just to try and do that again. But here we go on the rule of 6 with the Echo Fly. Again, this basically only gets you like 5 Amber, but that's fine, especially against a deck that has almost no Amber control. And you're set up again to have a double Echo Fly next turn if they don't have any creature control, which you should be able to fight with one of these next turn pretty easily, but we do know most of the untamed creature control is gone. Last card here is going to be the In Here Somewhere. I imagine you grab... I don't think you grab the dragon here. It's probably just All Hands and Colonel Slime, or sorry, Ghoul Keeping and Colonel Slime, but I mean, you could even go for Brobnar stuff, but yeah, there's no reason. Going up to 10 has the second In Here Somewhere. What a hand. So just played out the Geistoid and drew right back into more of it. I wonder if it was off this drop hip, that'd be something. Gets the In Here Somewhere and Khaleesi Dragon. So, I mean, this does not look good for the AOA deck. This is going to be an interesting chain bid, because I do think the AOA deck has a chance of kind of disrupting and generating a lot of amber with this Untamed especially. Punk is actually kind of bad against a deck with chains on it, because it lets them shed an extra chain on their turn. But it also makes it so that their handcrafting, if they're doing any, is just completely nullified. So got the Sanctum turn here. Gonna get that second Golden Aura down to be able to fight off the Doppelganger. Yeah. Fights those off. Both of them off. Gets up to 3 amber here, but Thytiom forging key 2, and basically needs 2 amber. Gonna make a lot more than that with this turn. There's a Ghost in the Sun. Gets the Echo Fly out. Not as flashy as getting the Khaleesi Dragon out with it, but arguably better. Because this combo is just going to be, yeah, far and away more amber than this AOA deck can handle, especially without like the EP in the discard to hit with the Mimicry. So, yeah, I don't know. For anyone who's still on, what are you all thinking for chain bids on this one? I could see it going up to, I could see it going decently high. Because kind of once you get a few of these cards together, this combo kind of can go forever because it kind of archives itself. Yeah, 12 at least is probably 12 to 14. I mean, what's a bad draw look like this on this? Yeah, it does look like a lot of chains. This does have a lot of efficiency, so if you get like the logos start early with some Titans and stuff, it could ramp pretty fast. But what are you ramping to? I guess a big untamed turn. It's decently efficient. It has the sloppy lab work, has the worm tunnel, Brilix Ponder, but then you've also got a couple discard pips and some draw pips in here. Double In Here Somewhere. So it's kind of like you have to get haunted and stuff, which, you know, when you're on a ton of chains does get slowed down, but discard pips help that. If the AOA deck plays the Punk, it helps that. So a lot's going to come down to sort of what sort of efficiency this AOA deck can get early on, because the combo we've seen so far does not really do a lot of amber control. There is plenty of amber control in this deck, but if you're doing the big burst turns, you're not necessarily doing as much amber control, so might get priced into having to choose one over the other. But that is going to be obviously going to game 3 here. Get our scores 1-1. And should be making a new lobby here. Yeah, 12 to 14. I mean, I think I'd be pretty happy taking the AOA deck with the Amber Skies on 12. So it's really kind of who feels more comfortable with the other. There might be things with the AOA deck that we haven't quite seen. Like if you get an archive of like 2 or 3 untamed cards and then a good hand of it, especially with that full moon, the burst in that deck can probably go crazy. So if you have some time to set that up, like that might just be really hard for the Amber Skies to match, especially if they haven't found like the EP or something. But if you get like a In Here Somewhere early on, get yourself haunted fast, find the In Here Somewhere again, like the second one pretty soon after, it just might not matter. Like just looping In Here Somewhere might be enough amber generation that the AOA deck can't really handle it. Yeah, the EP can, but that's about the only card that really handles big burst, and that Untamed turn would be a big burst. If you kind of find a decent amount of the pieces. And it might just get discarded by Punk if it gets played, but could also draw you into it with a Punk. That's where Punk is kind of tough in this one. Yeah, starting with a bit of one, we're going to climb there slowly. Up to 7 already. 8, neither one slowing down too much on this. Hey, maybe it is just all the way up to 15. I think both decks kind of have a chance to get where they need to be early. So I mean, with this many chains, it's becomes more draw dependent for sure. Just about, yeah. The other piece I think will be for the AOA deck just finding the right creature control, because there's a lot of creatures you need to kill in this Amber Skies deck. And so if the AOA deck is kind of slowing itself down to deal with those creatures instead of just going for speed, it could also be rough. But again, I think if you mulligan hard for the logo stuff here and find some of the archiving early on, you could be in a really good spot. The Sanctum, I think, is what's really tough in this deck. It is doing very little. It's got the Golden Auras and the Grey Rider for some creature control, but the rest of it is just like not good enough. Even the Martyr's End, like, you might close out the game with that, but any other point in the game, it's probably not worth actually destroying your own creatures. All right, Kalos going up to 13. Here's where we start getting the tougher decisions. I guess if you also just find like Echo Fly, Ghoul Keeping turn 1, the game just ends, right? Like if you just have that in hand, in your starting hand of like 3 cards, you're kind of, it's just over. But not super likely with 13 chains, especially. So what would I bid 14 here if I'm Thytiom? It'd be tough. I think depends on how comfortable Thytiom feels about this deck, or if Thytiom actually thinks it's, yeah, pretty, has a chance to do stuff we haven't seen yet. And if that's the case, yeah, 14 would be dicey. I think this is. Oh, did we check? Yeah, AOA's got the first turn, so we're good to go there. We do see a mulligan from Thytiom. It does not look like a mulligan for Kalos. ZYX Researcher, turn 1. Getting some efficiency. We do see some logos coming down for Kalos there. Could be a fair game. If Kalos is able to just keep going like Logos and Brobnar for a couple turns, I think the Amber Skies deck still ramps up fast. This not getting covered here is really rough for Thytiom, I think. I don't know that this was quite a good enough turn, especially was that pulled the archives for that turn too. There's a Junk Restoration. Not finding anything amazing here. You probably just grab the Thoughtcatcher to get some bodies on the board for creature control, but if you want to just get haunted faster, you might leave it. Sometimes I wonder if Junk Restoration is actually better than in here somewhere. Oh, we do see the discard Echo Fly there too. Okay, there's the Post Pixies. Again, some slower turns for Thytiom here, but is going to start getting some archiving, and this Post Pixies does turn off at least some of the amber control for Kalos, but we see the Brobnar turn here, so probably some damage pips or Berserker Slam here. Yeah, there's damage pip. It's a Titan Librarian. Interesting. This might be a fight into the Titan Librarian rather than killing the Post Pixies. Yeah, so raise your glass into Reaping with the Gobber and the Cacophonous Riot. Oh, man. Yep, pretty good to be able to play all of your cards on a 4-card hand. Thytiom going into Sanctum here, just going to get a Reap. Kalos not quite in check yet, but this is not looking amazing. Does get the Lion Baltrum down to protect both the flank of the Post Pixies and give it some extra power there. Gets the Grey Rider for an extra Reap. And the Prince Derek, not quite getting the value on the Prince Derek. We haven't seen any Untamed turns yet, but you know, this is not too bad of a board setup for Thytiom. Question is, did Kalos find an in here somewhere? Oh, I guess there was a discard pip here, so getting 3 out of 4 and then discarding this one. Still a very nice turn when you're on that many chains for Kalos. We've got 2 in archives here too. So again, probably building up towards... did I say no Untamed? Oh. Did the Prince Derek... Why did the Prince Derek not get value? We have all 3 houses here. Was there... Am I missing something? Oops. Ah! Golden Aura. Oh, oh, that sucks. Yeah. That would have been huge. Man, and you could have done that in a different order, right? There's no reason to play the Golden Aura first. Oh, that could be a really, really big deciding factor for this game. We'll see. We'll see if it ends up mattering, but Thytiom may be kicking themselves for that one. Kalos going up to check at 6 here. Plays the Burlix Ponder down rather than just getting the extra draw. Thytiom goes back into Sanctum. See if we see that Anahita the Trader. Yeah, that's the other thing that could do a little bit here at least. CYX, it's going to Reap. Lion's going to Reap. I imagine you still killed this with the Prince Derek. Just so it can't fight in here. But also probably not going to be a Logos turn again. Unless you really need to Connectome or something to get rid of this Anahita. Which I think you do. Like, this is Steel 2 is not bad. And there is at least one more Sanctum artifact. So that could fire more than once if you don't deal with it. But this could be a Berserker Slam here. Which does also get around Post Pixies. Yeah, there's Berserker Slam. Man, unfortunate. Thytiom just kind of missing some value on a few of these things. The Rowdy Scald not going to stop the key because of the Post Pixies. Very, very big there. Essentially almost giving an Amber to Thytiom off that. So if Thytiom can keep this thing alive, there is, I think, a chance, but we're down to 7 chains, so one more turn of 4-card hand for Kalos, and not seeing much Geistoid yet, so we could see just a lot of that Geistoid value late game, which is probably exactly where you want it for Kalos. Still has the Junk Restoration in archives as well, so that can kind of fire off at any minute. I think that Junk Restoration being in here is real bad for Thytiom. And especially probably not being able to go. Yeah, okay, so there's a mistake on both sides, or at least like a missed proc there for both sides at this point. So kind of evens out a little bit. All right, we'll see. See if we get the archive pulled. See if this is a punk or not. Yeah. I mean, that's really big for Thytiom. I think needed that for sure to have a chance here. There's the Earthbound. Nature's Call, maybe bouncing back that Rowdy Scald. And the Post Pixie's going to get that back next to Lion Boutrum, especially with Berserker Slam gone now. It's a little bit safer. Obviously, an all hands on deck can still just nuke it, but worth trying. Almost wonder if you bounce the Researcher there, depending on what you're planning for next turn. Might also be considering a punk here. It's so tough. Especially since you basically just gummed up your opponent's hand with creatures they don't want to play again. I don't know that it's right to play a punk here. We'll see. It's so hard to know. There's a Raise Your Glass for more Amber, so getting up to 6 at check. Okay, so no punk. Does play the Mimicry. If Thytiom finds the like Glimmer here, being able to replay that Mimicry could be real big. Find a few more Untamed creatures, Cacophonous Riot them for a bunch more Amber. All right, there's the Geist to a turn. Again, no hand disruption here, so we don't know if this is a Desperation or already has a few of the pieces in hand. We see nothing good. All Logos off of that Junk Restoration. So my guess is that is not what Kalos wants to see. Especially with that EP being in the discard now means it can be Mimicried. Same with the Connectome. So, yeah, rough for Kalos there. Question is, what else is in hand to prompt the Geistoid turn, or was this just a I need to start finding it, and I'm not going to be shedding chains soon because of those two creatures being bounced. Okay, so it looks like not taking anything from that, which makes some sense. We do see the Ghost in the Sun. This could be Leafy Dragon here. Which again, still doesn't stop the key on its own, but if Kalos has the Ghoul Keeping, it could be really nasty. I mean, nothing here stops the key on its own, right? Because you're not, especially since you're not playing it. Kindle Unit is actually probably somewhat. I mean, it depends on what else is hand. There's an argument for Candle Unit. We do. Oh yeah, we don't get the damage pip here. Here's the in here somewhere. So now you need to kill this if you're Thytiom, for sure. You don't have too many ways of doing that either. Okay, so it has the discard pip, draw pip in here somewhere. So discards the Brilix Ponder, so it gets to draw 2 more cards there. So Junk Restoration plus 2 more draws is a lot of efficiency here. All down to if he found it. Pause makes me think not. It's really tough. I think, again, not knowing hands, it still is probably better that Kalos did this turn so that he didn't just draw into all this Logos if the goal is to find the Geistoid. Yeah, 13 chains and already has more in the discard by a decent amount. To be fair, there's some creatures and stuff on this side that have not been killed versus the creatures getting killed on this side, but still. That is pretty crazy. Is this a second in here somewhere? It is. Grabbing some Brobnar stuff though. So, oh no, this is... Yeah, this is the second one, so it gets another draw. It is pretty rare, isn't it, to see a Kalifi Dragon in play, especially these days. Like, but even in Coda days, it was rare. This is a really cool one though. So we've seen this happen a couple times now. We're getting to get the Kalifi Dragon in play off of the Ghost in the Sun. But if you don't have the Ghoul Keeping, it's not quite as, I mean, it's still good. Like, this is a ton of pressure. But it looks like we are going to be giving up this key here. Unless there's like a Kernel Slime or something, which, did we see that already? Okay, goes for more Brobnar. So very much telegraphing a big Brobnar turn. Oh, it has the Ghoul Keeping. Man, could have just started with that so we didn't have to sit here in suspense. That is like, that changes this from like a close turn to just a I'm gonna ruin your entire game turn. Crazy. Yeah, definitely could have drawn it. There was what, 3 draws after the junk restoration this turn, so but yeah, not what Thytiom wanted to see. No Echo Fly though. Yeah, it's two drop pips plus the Brillix there, because we got this one had it too. And the Post Pixies is gone, but Thytiom does get that key, has a view into what's coming because of all the Brobnar getting archived, but yeah, Kalos is in a really good spot unless Thytiom can get to check here. Thytiom can get to check here on like 7. Let's see if there was Amber Control. Strength Within has Amber Control. Razor Glass doesn't quite. You also need to kill this, so like you also want to kind of just standardize this turn. Slam is Amber Control, so you need to get to like 8 from 0 and kill a dragon. Simple, right? That's so easy. Because that also represents, it depends on if Kalos drew into more creatures or not. If there's no more creatures in hand, that hand does not do nearly as much. But like you're not fighting this off the board right now. Your Nature's Call is gone, so you could find the Glimmer and Nature's Call it or something. The Mimicry is in there too, so if you have Glimmer, you do have a lot of options. And that's where maybe you kind of go for the Full Moon, Punk, just try to burst as much as possible, bounce this back to hand. Can't get replayed because you're not at 7 anymore after the Forge Key. But yeah, this is looking scary for Thytiom. And if you don't have Glimmer, have we seen? I don't think we've seen the standardized yet, right? So you could also have the standardized, but like Save the Pack is gone, Nature's Call is gone, all of the Golden Auras are gone. Your ways of killing this are minimal. This has to deal 5 to a creature. So maybe you actually can like Martyr's End your own board here just to keep the Berserker Slam and this from getting as much value. Yeah, could just have a ton of Sanctum junk. There's been a lot of Sanctum called though. Like most likely you're sitting on more Logos than anything at this point. Calls Untamed, pulls the Archives. All right, so I think needs the Glimmer here. Has lots of options of what to hit with the Glimmer. Honestly, just the Connectome is... Connectome isn't amazing. I think you actually need to let this key go through, which feels real bad. If you have the Full Moon, I think you're just grabbing the Nature's Call here. Because if you stop the key and bounce this, if your only way of dealing with this is bouncing, I think you have to let this key go through. Otherwise, there's so many pips here, and there's ways to ready and use it. Like, you just can't let that happen. Grabs Mimicry. See if it just goes right into an EP. How are you... I don't know about that. The Mimicry, like, how are you killing this thing now? Like, your only option is the Connectome, but that stops the key, which I don't think you want to do here. Interesting. Does go for the Connectome. I guess you could have captured onto something else. Here's the full moon. Okay, so here's where punks. See what was discarded off the punk. We do see another Rowdy Scald. There's a strong feeling. You don't care too much about the rest of that. And punk that early though is, ooh, yeah, that doesn't feel good. I don't think. You didn't see anything. Yeah, that is brutal. Plays the full moon too, which kind of got missed in there. Yeah, no, Kalos has 5 cards now. Brobnar, 2 different cards that can ready and use the dragon. You can play the pips before you do that because you have Berserker Slam and what was the other one? Was it an Incensed? Berserker Slam, Riot, Strength. Oh, I guess you can't play the Strength Within. So you might have to play like the Raise Your Glass or so. Oh no, you just play Berserker Slam and you get this Amber back. So yeah, I think I like Nature's Call better there. And giving up the key. Either way, it's a gamble. Well, if you go to 12 here, you're still not forging this turn. So Thytiom just needs to get to check this turn. But that's going to be real tough now. Like Untamed is about the only way to get to check enough with this this AOA deck, I think, from 0. So Cleavy Dragon does have to shoot itself with its ability because it has to hit a creature when it reaps. So we'll see if we get just more reaping here. But I mean, I think it's worth it at this point. Yeah. Play the Riot. Discard Doppelganger. Still doesn't die here. Goes to 11. And you're at 14 Amber. You're not drawing anymore, so you kind of have to have an answer in what's left in hand if Thytiom does manage to get to 6. But with the full moon gone, like I don't know if I see that happening. We do have the Glimmer again. Glimmer's in archives. Prince Derek's in archives. So you could grab the full moon. Oh, and we're gonna get a deck flip here, so you can't even Mimicry now. Finds so much more. And the Strength Within, so you also have to kill this thing. Otherwise, you have to get to higher key amount. I mean, you have to kill all of these because, or that Gobber too, because this is Amber control on both of these, so. Yeah. That's really tough. I mean, the biggest issue is that Thytiom just completely whiffed on the punk. Found one more untamed creature. Or untamed card, right? And it wasn't even a creature. So I think that was, if you find 2 creatures there, then you can't Berserker Slam the middle guy. It's a little bit more tricky, but I mean, this play for Kalos was going to be doing plenty of value and plenty of work either way. Because then this thing just gets to start sniping other stuff. You have to burn 1 more card for the Amber Pip to be able to play this, but after that, you're kind of just good. I mean, if you have 5 creatures in Sanctum and the Martyr's End, you can get to 6. But gotta imagine now we're looking at like, maybe you can do something with the Jar Goggle. I doubt it. I don't know what you can do here besides go Untamed and grab Glimmer, Nature's Call, bounce like these 2, but this you can just replay anyways next turn. This gets replayed for a capture, so it's essentially the same. Wow, Twitch actually auto-modded one of the reviewers bots. Thytiom taking their time, just seeing if there's any options here, but it is not looking good. Go Sanctum. Feels unlikely that's going to get you to check here. I can't even have that many. Oh, the Healing Blast isn't bad. There's Derek. Thias. I imagine we've got a... There's Equalize. Martyr's End puts you to 7. Just not enough. There's the Martyr's End. Yeah, I mean, it's the most you can do. Again, if that Untamed turn last turn was better, then that follow-up Sanctum isn't bad. But just the complete miss on the Punk, I think, was nail in the coffin for Thytiom, unfortunately. So now, looking back, still not even enough chains. It was definitely closer than the other games, but once you're at this point, the Amber Skies deck just has multiple sort of board hand archive states that the AOA deck just kind of cannot handle. There's the Darna, there's the Punk. Again, no key cheat to hit into here. Is just a bummer. So there you go. Kalos taking it 2-1. Yeah, interesting matchup for sure. Once there's chain spid. Yeah, the 2 keys, especially missing the post pixies was really big. Thytiom also though missed the Prince Derek proc. So some mistakes on both players, or just misses. Yeah, I was gonna say though, so that turn, I mean, so you could say you had perfect draws, but also you had the junk restoration first. So like the odds of that junk restoration not hitting any of your Geistoid, especially when you're already that far through your deck, is pretty low. So with that and 3 more draws, like the odds of you getting at least a card or 2 that are gonna help you there is really good. But yeah, not finding these off of the Punk, I think, was unfortunate for Thytiom there. Not super likely at that point either, so just a bummer. But still wonder if the Nature's Call would have been... Well, so the issue with the Nature's Call, I guess, is you lose your Glimmer off the Punk if you do it that way. So you could do the Connect Dome, but then just capture onto creatures you're Connect Doming so that you force Kalos to forge there so that Kalos can't replay the dragon. I don't know. I think that's like the one consideration that turn is finding a way so that Kalos can't replay the dragon. If you can do that, it is a little bit different because this is gaining so much Amber. But I mean, ending the game at 13 Amber after you forged your 3rd key was... yeah, not great. And I still think Punk against the deck that has chains is it's so hard to know what's actually correct, if it's actually even right to play that earlier in the game. You really do want to wait until you're setting up for like your combo, but combo just didn't fire. So yep, thanks all for hanging out and watching the stream. Thanks to both of our players, and congrats to Kalos on making it into the semi-finals. Going to be a pretty interesting one, so we can take a look at our... Oh, that is the last one for... And I'm sorry, I did stream JT Russell's. There's been a lot going on. I think I said earlier that I wasn't sure if I had actually seen JT's game or not, but this was the last one for our quarterfinals. So Kalos going to be going up against Lavinus Twitch. And we're going to have JT Russell versus Guid. See when those games end up happening, but be on the lookout for those. Should be some bangers. But that is going to be it for us here. Thank y'all for hanging out and watching, and thanks to our players. Again, congrats to Thytiom making it this far. And Kalos, we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.